Spider Pig, Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a Spider Pig. Spider Pig, Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a Spider Pig. Spider Pig, Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a Spider Pig. Spider Pig, Spider Pig, does whatever.
Welcome back to another Super Saturday over here on Spider Pig. For all you pigs, pennies, pigs, playmates, let's pop it. It's your boy TWP. Y'all know what time it is. Another day in paradise. We're doing our Super Saturdays every Saturday. And y'all know we got a nice video for y'all today. So y'all know, roll up, get y'all wake and bake. Don't forget to check out TWP Popcorn. Shouts out to his 10 a.m. live. This video was recorded on time, so therefore it will be uploaded and ready to go. Shouts out to all my people that like this 8 a.m. Central Post in the United States side. I know all my people over across seas. That's probably in the PM for y'all. So y'all know y'all get to get out there on a Saturday, Sunday, whatever day it is for y'all, and watch it then. You know what I'm saying? Right then and there when it should be on over there. But y'all know if it ain't on Dragon Ball, it ain't on at all. Shouts out to Team Goku today. It's a Goku-based video. And then it's going to go back to everybody else. Because, you know, we have the Super Manga number 97, I believe. Shouts out to Super Manga 97. Because that was going to be in the title. Y'all know how we do. Keeping it moving. Finna hit this button. Get to this playlist.
Is that supposed to be insulting? You say I'm arrogant.
Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Now this is most definitely something that I wasn't expecting to happen, but I sure do hope that Goku knows what he's getting himself into out there, especially since he wishes to gauge the power of Universe 13's God of Destruction. I don't think that it would be within his own best interest to hold Ultra Instinct back from Reno, but unless he absolutely needs to, and is left with no other choice but to use it, then I'm afraid that there will be nothing that Goku would be able to do against this destroyer without using the power of Ultra Instinct to stop him.
Our story now continues on Beerus's planet following the unexpected and shocking arrival of Universe 13's God of Destruction, as with Reno and Goku now looking forward in having to battle against each other to see where the other stands. It was only moments before their initial battle where Reno then went on to respond, "I'll just go ahead and warn you now that even though Beerus may have a soft spot for you, I on the other hand do not share the same sentiment for you that he does. And if Beerus sees something within you that is worth taking note of, then I want to find out what that is myself," with Goku then responding, "Well, I don't really know what to expect out of you or those who are just like you that have been brought back after being destroyed for such a long time. However, I don't plan on losing against you, especially not after everything I've been through to reach this point in time," Goku says. "But I'll just go and slowly start to show you what I'm all about once we start, Lord Reno, because I don't intend to go down that easily against you," with Beerus then suddenly chiming in, "Hold it right there, Saiyan. You listen and you listen up very carefully," Beerus continues. "Do not, under any means, underestimate this God of Destruction, Goku. This destroyer isn't someone that you can easily reason with, and so Reno doesn't just fight by using raw power, but he's also very cunning, strategic, and relentless in battle," Beerus continues, "as he was also one of the only ones to ever push me to my limit in battle, as there were even other times where this destroyer had proven to be slightly stronger than me too," Beerus continues. "So forget about everything that you think you might know in this battle when you face Reno and pay very close attention. This is an entirely different kind of enemy that you are about to go up against here, Saiyan. So try to keep your head screwed on straight and not downplay his abilities and his power, Goku. This will be your one and only warning, and so don't go and embarrass yourself either," Beerus continues, with Goku then having to question, "So this destroyer is really that good, huh? Well, I was thinking about saving the best for last in case I needed it, but what do you think I should do then, Lord Beerus? Do you think that I should go all out?" with Beerus responding, "You go and do what you want, Saiyan. I'm not going to tell you how to fight or what to do, but do make sure that you remember what I said. I'm also a little curious on how this is going to go, so this one is on you, Goku. And if you fail, then that's on you as well," as Angel Pinocchio went on to respond, "I don't see this battle involving you both to last any longer than it should, Lord Reno, but do try and make sure to control yourself and save your strength for when you really need to use it," Pinocchio continues. "This should be an easy warm-up for you," with Reno responding, "And I don't intend to drag this out, which is why I want to see what this mortal is made of, so I'll make this quick. Beerus is the only one that I care about here, and so now hurry it up and show me what you're made of, Saiyan. I don't have all day, nor do I have all of the time in the world to spare, and so now come at me here and now," with Goku then responding, "Well, this is going to be great. Now, I don't know whether I'm nervous to face this guy or if I'm just too excited to tell, but either way, I'm looking forward to this. All right, Lord Reno, I'll start from the bottom and work my way up into seeing where I stand against you, and so now here goes, Goku shouts. To which upon Goku now shown having to immediately jump into using Super Saiyan 3 was when Angel Pinota went on to chime in. Well, as I thought he would, you've trained the Saiyan very well, Whis, but you and I both know that whatever this is will not be enough to help him win the day here, especially since you and I both know that Lord Reno's might is unparalleled, Angel Pinota continues. But of course, you would know more about this mortal than we would, so unless there is more to this Goku's power than what he's showing, well then he's finished, with Reno questioning, so is that it? This is how you choose to engage with me? Oh, you better start counting your prayers then, mortal, because this form of yours and that power that you are shown wielding will not come close in being anything worth my time. Now come at me and I'll show you. To which, as Goku is now shown doing, it was only just when Super Saiyan 3 Goku is now shown winding his fist back and getting ready to attack Reno was when the Oracle Fish went on to chime in. Wait, Goku can't be serious here now, is he? He doesn't actually think that this Super Saiyan 3 form of his will be any sort of match against Universe 13's God of Destruction, do you? Well, no, I don't, Whis responds, but I do think that Goku knows this as well and is trying to first see as to where he stands compared to Reno first before he decides to go any higher, Whis continues. It's not the smartest approach, but it's certainly a favorable one, to which, as Goku is now shown making contact, it was only just when Super Saiyan 3 Goku was shown punching Reno in the chest with no effect on Reno whatsoever was when Reno then went on to respond, so is this honestly supposed to be one of Beerus's best so-called warriors that he has here in the 7th? All that hair and this is what your power feels like, Saiyan? This has got to be some kind of a sick joke. And so now hurry it up and prove me wrong before I decide to respond, with Beerus chiming in, oh, why would this idiot choose to use a weaker form against a destroyer god like this instead of using stronger levels of power? Oh, that fool, and Reno's just standing there and making everything that Goku is doing look like child's play. Oh, what are you doing, Saiyan? Why are you only using Super Saiyan 3 for? Beerus went on to then shout, to which in the meantime, with Reno being shown having to knock Goku back by thrusting his horn forward was when Reno then went on to shout, oh, stop this, Saiyan! The only thing that your efforts are starting to prove here is that you are slowly starting to annoy me the longer that I am forced to look at you, mortal. And so unless this is all that you were able to draw forward, then this duel between you and I is over before it even began. Now away with you. Admit that you are at the limit of your mortal potential or continue to fight in vain, Saiyan. Oh, you've got to be kidding, Goku then went on to utter. And he doesn't even have a single scratch on him. Well, so much for using Super Saiyan 3 then. And so now let's go up a notch, since I can already tell that this guy is going to be a lot harder to figure out than I thought. To which upon, with Goku now having to be shown doing so in jumping from Super Saiyan 3 on over to Super Saiyan God was when the Oracle Fish went on to comment, well, at least Goku's finally realized the threat level that Reno is for his Super Saiyan 3 form not to work, but this form won't either, with Whis chiming in, well, in many ways, Lord Reno is actually helping Goku in rediscovering the meaning of powerful adversary, and since Goku now knows that he'll need to use way more power than what he's shown using if he wishes to walk away from this battle in one piece, then that will vary on Goku, Whis continues, and especially if Goku knows what's good for him, then he will need to act quickly on this if he knows what's good for him and hopes to win, to which upon God Goku now shown dashing towards Reno was when Goku then went on to shout, far from it in fact, Lord Reno, and so if Super Saiyan 3 wasn't enough, then let's just see how you fare up against Super Saiyan God, to which as Goku is now shown kicking Reno was when Reno then went on to respond, interesting, so you have Divine Ki, finally, a transformation that is worth lifting up an eyebrow over, but even this will not be remotely enough to make a difference, mortal. I am by no means impressed by your theatrics against me, nor will it win you the day, Saiyan. To which seconds later, with Reno being shown having to slap God Goku away was when Angel Pinota went on to chime in, well, that was surprising, but if any of you had ever expected anything less from Lord Reno, well then I'm afraid that you are mistaken, including you, Lord Beerus. And if what we see taking place now is any indication, then I would say that Universe 7's odds against Lord Reno isn't looking too good, Pinota continues. Ouch. Oh, that's the second time that I've been smacked so casually by this guy, and I feel like I'm going nowhere fast. And if if Super Saiyan God isn't shown to have any sort of effect against him, then that just leaves me with no other choice than to use Super Saiyan Blue with Ultra Instinct as my last ace card against him, but I can't just go and use the standard variant of Super Saiyan Blue against him, so I'll just have to go and try and use a stronger version of it if I hope to get the better of this guy, with Angel Pinota chiming in. I warned you that this would happen, and so was I wrong, brother? The vastness of Lord Reno's power is something that Goku has yet to truly comprehend, and as each transformation goes on to reveal your mortal's true potential, Lord Reno's power is far beyond potential, for it is absolute and without an equal, Pinota continues. So it's better to quit now and throw the towel in to save the Saiyan before things start to get a bit messy here once Lord Reno starts to fight back, with Whis responding, well, as much as I would hate to inform you, sister, but quitting isn't something that Goku here is known for, and so no matter what it is that he faces, even if his opponent is far stronger, he will always find a way to somehow continue pushing forward no matter how hard things might end up getting for him, Whis continues, as it is who Goku is at his very core after all, for there are still things that he has yet to showcase during this battle that either of you have seen, but I'm sure you will, to which upon Goku now shown jumping into Super Saiyan Blue was when Beerus went on to chime in, oh, I knew he'd go and use Blue next, that moronic Saiyan, and so now unless he actually has a plan here and is able to do something that makes Super Saiyan Blue worth contending against, then this too will ultimately fail against Reno, Beerus continues, and if I was able to best the Saiyan's blue form without much of an effort, then what does he think that this will do against another destroyer who is equal to me in power, Beerus questions. This isn't going to work, and you and I both know it, Whis, as Reno then went on to question, and just what exactly is this? Now you have blue hair, so is this all that you're going to do? I don't see how changing your hair color from red to blue is going to help you here against me, but I think I've seen enough, with Goku then uttering, now let's just see if I can remember how to do this, and if I hope to put any sort of dent into this destroyer, then I'll have to use everything that I can if I hope to win, Goku says, and for that to happen, I can't have my body continue to leak energy, and so let's seal it within. To which seconds later, with Goku now shown having to do this, it was only as Goku was now shown having to finally stabilize his ki from within his own body, where Goku then went on to respond, well, I hate to break it to you, but this is far more than just a color change, Lord Reno. It's an evolution, a mastery of what Super Saiyan Blue stands for, and now that I was able to seal off my energy and keep it from leaking from my body, this form is the result of the rigorous training and continuous battles that I had to go through, Goku continues. It's the essence of my Saiyan spirit perfectly controlled, and so this should tell me all that I need to know about you once we resume. And what you see here is something that me and Vegeta coined as perfected Super Saiyan Blue, Goku continues, and it's a testament to my journey, my struggles, and my unwavering will to keep pushing forward no matter what. And I'm hoping that this does the trick, but just in case if it doesn't, then I still have one more thing left to show you that I'm keeping in my back pocket. So what do you say, Lord Reno? You ready? With Reno responding, oh please. If you honestly want to believe that this blue-haired form of yours is going to work, then I have some bad news for you, mortal. Because it won't and it never will. And so there will be no need to use whatever you may be holding out against me, because you won't last long enough here against me in order to use it. And if you don't want to take my word for it, then why don't you attack me like you tried doing, and I will gladly show you, Saiyan. Give me a reason to actually take you seriously here and prove your worth. For this will be your one and only chance to do it. To which upon Goku now being shown having to dash towards Reno was when Beerus went on to then chime in, oh, what's he thinking here, Whis? What part of anything but your very best against a destroyer like Reno is Goku not understanding here? Oh, he'll be lucky if he gets Reno to even break a sweat, so I don't like this. He's gambling with his well-being here, and I don't like the way he's going about this. It's a foolish battle strategy. In which seconds later, with perfected Blue Goku now shown finally having to connect a thunderous shot upon Reno's face, was when Reno then went on to respond, ah yes, it's about time. There we finally go. Not bad, puny Saiyan, but you're going to need way more power than whatever this is if you plan on besting me, because you won't. And so I'll give you 20 more seconds to come at me with all you've got before I go and shut you down for good, mortal, so hurry up, Reno then shouts. Oh, darn it, why aren't any of my attacks putting any sort of dent into you? Just what exactly are you, Goku questions, with Reno responding, why? I'll tell you why, because you are weak. Your puny transformations are no match for a god of destruction. 15 seconds, mortal, to which upon Goku now being shown having to quickly step back was when the Oracle Fish went on to chime in. Oh, I don't like where this is going, you guys. Lord Reno is just too strong for Goku and it's starting to show. Is this seriously Lord Reno's first fight back since he's been revived? With Angel Pinota responding, actually, yes, it is, Fish. Lord Reno was originally intending to wait so that he could fully go all out against Lord Beerus, but, well, I guess breaking one of Beerus's best warriors here in the 7th will do for now, Pinota continues. So yes, this is the first time since he's been erased that Lord Reno is shown physically getting himself involved in a battle, and so now watch very closely. To which seconds later within that moment as Goku is shown having to then fire an energy blast with Reno being shown catching it was when Reno then went on to respond, what a complete waste, and here I thought that you'd actually be worth the challenge here. Only to find out firsthand that breaking you in half would be a whole lot easier than I anticipated for it to be, Saiyan. And if this is what that puny Beerus wants to try and protect, then his odds of beating me are just as good as yours, mortal. And that's 0. You are far beyond the point of victory. 5 seconds left, Saiyan, with Goku then responding, he's really making all of my efforts, including while using perfected Super Saiyan Blue, look like absolute child's play out there. And if this is how he is shown having to respond to every single one of my attacks, then even Super Saiyan Blue isn't going to be enough to put this guy down, Goku continues, which then leaves me with only one other option left since nothing seems to be working here against him, and it's the only shot that I've got at winning, which I haven't even gone as far as to use since beating Moro on Earth, Goku continues, but what other choice do I have here if this is how this guy is operating in battle against me? And if that's going to be my one and only chance to beat him, then I'll have to hurry before it's too late because he looks really, really mad, and almost as though he's about to explode or something. Also, what's this destroyer planning? As Reno then went on to smile at Goku by then responding, time's up, Saiyan, it's my turn now. To which, shockingly enough, from out of nowhere, as soon as Reno was now shown having to dash towards Goku was when Angel Pinota went on to chime in, well, and now you will all be left with no other choice but to watch as Lord Reno tears into the Saiyan mortal with ease, as Beerus went on to then question, what in the world? Since when was Reno ever shown being able to move this fast on his feet? I don't ever remember seeing him move this quickly in battle. To which, as Reno was now shown clotheslining Goku, was when Reno went on to then continue, I want you to take a good hard look and understand how hopeless you truly are in this battle against me, Saiyan mortal. Were you not the one who fought against gods of destruction such as Beerus before? And yet here you are, crumbling beneath the weight of a true destroyer's power. So how does that make you feel knowing that you can't win? You wear the armor of a god, but your endurance and the way you fight says otherwise, mortal. You were nothing but a waste of time to me, Reno continues. And for all of your achievements and everything you've been through, you were still no match for me, and you never will be, Goku. Universe 7's team will fall just as its god of destruction once fell. And do you want to know on just who exactly you are all going to fall to? Your universe's team, along with your washed up god of destruction, will fall to none better than me. In which seconds later, in an act of brutality, as Reno was now shown having to snap Goku's back alongside his kneecap, was when the Oracle Fish went on to shout, Lord Reno's massacring Goku out there, you guys! Is there any way for us to help him or even call this entire thing off before something very bad happens to Goku? Well, I'm afraid not, unfortunately, Whis went on to then quickly respond. It would seem as though with Lord Reno having his way with Goku, this battle is finished. There is nothing that we can do other than wait and see what comes from this, to which as Destroyer Reno was now overlooking Goku on the floor was when Reno then went on to continue. Maybe now you can finally start to see the difference between myself and your pitiful god of destruction, mortal. And I am not as forgiving as Beerus either. So was this your idea of fun, Beerus? Was this supposed to be your idea of entertainment? Reno went on to question. Just look at him on the floor. Just look at how embarrassing this mortal was. Playing host to a Saiyan who couldn't even get me to break a sweat makes me sick. This universe is a disgrace. You should have known better, Reno continues. And this is what you get for thinking that you had what it took to rival a stronger god. And so I hope the comfort of this mortal's company here was worth the ridicule that you will soon face, Beerus. And to even think that I once respected you as a destroyer, just look at what your universe has been reduced to. How could you even go as far as to sleep at night and knowing that you've allowed for such a weak creature like this one to roam freely on your territory with no care in the world for your authority? You're lucky that I don't just destroy this Saiyan where he lies, for I will wait until our exhibition is over, so that way I can finish what we started here. This Saiyan is a joke, and the fact that you entertain him makes you an even bigger joke, Beerus. With Beerus chiming in, that's enough, Reno. The Saiyan can continue to fight you despite you not allowing for him to use his best against you, and so there will be no need to carry this out any further. I don't care what this creature had lined up and ready to use against me, Reno quickly went on to respond. No amount of pointless transformations that he had reserved was going to be what stops me, and now that he's out of my way, you're next, Beerus. As it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Resurrected Fallen Gods, the Universe 13 Saga Manga Chapter number 2 special then comes to a close. Now for additional context, just in case some of you guys happen to have been wondering, or just in case if you happen to be a bit curious as to why Goku was unable to use Ultra Instinct against Reno, well, simply put, Reno did not give him the opportunity in having to do so, only because what Goku tried to do right now was simply go as far as to gauge the power of this new god of destruction that he had come across, similar to that of what he had done with Jiren, as Goku's entire MO, as he does know of Ultra Instinct, is to kind of see where Reno stands first and foremost before having to use it, which was ultimately what ended up happening and having to prove that Reno was above all of Goku's forms with the exception of Ultra Instinct, to where all of this is going to inevitably tie in together and wrap itself around and coming full circle as the story ends up continuing, in which to that you do not want to miss out on the upcoming manga chapter, which will be that of manga chapter number 3, will be made available right now on my Patreon for you guys to have access to, especially if you want to go as far as to support the content that you see on this channel. So you do not want to miss out on any of the big stories that are going to be dropping on the channel relatively soon, to which to that I do encourage for you guys to become a member of my Patreon today, patreon.com/unrealentgaming, to where I will go on ahead and leave that link located down in the description box below and pinned comment section below as well, because just in case if you guys also just so happen to be a little curious on how this is going to tie into the top 5 sequel, well, to give you guys more information and clarity, this story as well as many of the stories that you guys are going to see coming on the channel within the next year will tie into the sequel in ways that this story as well as many of the stories that you guys are going to be seeing drop on the channel within the course of the next year will directly be tied into the sequel in ways that many of the characters that you're going to be seeing, such as an example with Reno, will be directly brought over into the Tournament of Power 2, aka the Omniverse event, to which such examples of characters making their way on over into the sequel will be Universe 13's God of Destruction Reno, as well as many future characters and previously existing characters that I've brought forward on the channel will be also making their entry as well, and those characters will include Raikon, Grenoku, which is the fusion of Goku and Granola, Goro 7-3, which is the fusion of Adult Gas and Moro, Universe 14's God of Destruction that I will later introduce, and so many other characters will be brought forward in that sequel, and you can almost kind of think of it as an Avengers Infinity War / Avengers Endgame type scenario where the Omni Kings are going to be drawing forward warriors from alternate realities and timelines, such as the ones you guys see here, and will be brought forward to battle against, as an example, Angel Goku, Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta, Budo, Takira, Akuma, Yoshido, and etc. So to that, you guys are going to have to give this time because I do have a plan, and if you trust in the plan, then you can ultimately rest assured that you are going to be getting a banger of a story. So again, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so very much for your time. This is only going to be but the beginning of a massive story to come, and I can't wait to reveal the other gods of destruction and all of the circumstances that are going to take place. So to that, just be patient, sit back, and enjoy. Thank you all so much for watching, to which once again, if you also just so happen to be new to the channel, then I do encourage for you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button on top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more. Thank you all so much for your time, and with that being said, I will be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unrelent Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
Excuse me, Mr. Joker?
Sorry, the hench girl role has been filled.
Oh, no, sir. I'm not here for a job. My name is Perry. I'm from the Internal Revenue Service.
Yes. Seems to me I've heard of that little organization.
Then you must realize, as Mr. Barlow's sole beneficiary, you owe us a tidy bit of inheritance tax. Now, $250 million minus Uncle Sam's current state and federal percentages. This should clear up your account.
$137 million?
Yes, and if I don't pay up, I'll go to jail for tax evasion. I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS, no, thank you.
Log that one under very badass.
You're watching Unrelent Gaming. This is Beerus, the god of destruction. Make sure you subscribe to Unrelent Gaming and push the like button for me, or else I'll hakai you from existence. Oh, and to make sure to watch the entire video all the way through, and to follow Unrelent Gaming on both Instagram and Twitter. Whiz, enough. On to the video.
So with Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 97 now officially in the history books, our heroes now find themselves in a very difficult and seemingly impossible position as their battle against Cell Max now continues to intensify with no victory seemingly in sight, especially with how powerful Cell Max appears to be. As with all of our heroes now struggling to come up with a plan to win, will our heroes be proven to be successful enough in getting the job done, or are we bound to witness alternate events take place that will inevitably lead to our heroes' defeat? As a quick reminder before we go deeper into this video, if you just so happen to be new to the channel and have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball and anime related, then I do encourage you guys to go on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single video posted on the channel, as well as giving this video a big fat thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you simply enjoyed the content being shown within the Dragon Ball Super manga and are excited to see what the overall direction of Dragon Ball Super is going to be going forward. And if you would like to learn more and catch up on the previous Dragon Ball Super manga chapters, then be sure to go ahead and click down below in the description box in checking out the official Dragon Ball Super manga playlist, to where not only would you be able to catch up on all of the previous manga chapters that you guys may have missed, but you could also check out some of the previous moments that have unfolded in which had brought us to this very moment in time. So with that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for your support, and now let's dive straight into the video. as we kick off Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 97 with both Saiyaman X1 and Saiyaman X2 being shown having to join Gamma 1 and 2 against Cell Max, as even with both of the Gammas themselves seemingly looking surprised in seeing two other additional heroes jump in to fight Cell Max by no means appears to be either intimidated or worried about the overall situation, because it was only just prior to Goten and Trunks even going as far as to touch Cell Max where Cell Max ends up sideswiping both of them with his tail, and effectively now being shown having to put both of them down without putting much of an effort, with both Goten and Trunks on the floor seemingly very hurt by this, as comedically enough with Piccolo and Gohan showing expressions of both anger and disappointment, with the only one being shocked by this was of course Krillin. The boys really thought as though they were going to make some sort of a difference by going into this in their base forms to begin with, as even Bulma went on to then respond, thought so, with Piccolo questioning, have they been doing any training at all, with Bulma responding, well, they've been grounded for over half a year, so no. So great, Piccolo chimes back in, we've got no choice but to rejoin the fight. Damn it, I should have just one more sensu bean in here. Hey, relax, Piccolo, it's all good, Trunks went on to then quickly shout. The heck, we haven't even gone Super Saiyan yet, and so you two just sit back and recover some more, okay? We'll keep the big guy occupied in the meantime, with Piccolo then responding, are they really up for this? Oh, I have doubts. Well, they do know how to step up when duty calls, Krillin responds. I'd say just give the boys a shot, with Bulma then responding, oh, says the guy who doesn't even want to fight. Who, me? No, that's not it, Krillin responds, but meanwhile, as both Gamma 1 and 2 had rejoined the fight and trying to do their best to stop Cell Max, but to no avail, it was only right then and there where Trunks went on to respond, hey, Gamma guy, that big bruiser just woke up, right? So it's kind of almost like he's not really used to moving his body around, right? You're not wrong, Gamma 1 responds, and so Cell Max hasn't really quite figured out the best way to wield his power, which means that this moment is our best chance to bring him down, in which with neither of the Gammas being shown wasting any more time, as both Goten and Trunks were now shown transforming into Super Saiyans, was when both Gamma 1 and 2 along with Super Saiyan Goten and Super Saiyan Trunks were now shown having to jump back in trying to do their best to alleviate the situation by having to put Cell Max down, especially knowing the fact that right now, to their own credit, they don't think that Cell Max is able to move fluently enough, as both Goten and Trunks were shown getting the better of him briefly. It almost had now appeared as though Cell Max was trying to swat flies out of the sky because of how fast everyone was moving, because overall to their own detriment later on, it only had now appeared as though their theory was proven to be correct, because with their overall combined effort now being shown having to bring Cell Max down to his knees, as Cell Max was now shown struggling, through everyone's combined effort, there was nothing that seemingly Cell Max could do, at least in the beginning, to catch everyone off balance and putting them down for good, because it had only now appeared as though Goten and Trunks were shown having to hold the upper hand against Cell Max, as Gamma 2 went on to chime in, whoa, sick move, say Gamma 2, don't they resemble us in a way? Oh yeah, that red cape's a spitting image of ours. Hey, do you remember what Dr. Hedo said about how when he was building us, when he based our designs off of a pair of super cool heroes who happened to have been his enemies at the time? Well, sure, it's all coming together now, Gamma 2 responds, in which back on over onto the battlefield as Goten and Trunks were shown briefly celebrating was when Trunks went on to chime in, hey, come on, let's finish this dude off ourselves. Yeah, Goten responds. Saiyaman, Gamma 1 shouts, we are here to assist, as by no means Goten and Trunks were going to turn this opportunity down, because with everyone having to shout their names and getting into fighting position, we only from that point then find everyone having to throw down in a very interesting superhero pose as a complete unit, in almost kind of resembling that of the Ginyu Force, with the way everyone was having to pose down before attacking Cell Max again, because it was within that very moment as everyone was shown charging back in and combining all of their attacks together, was when all four of them had now gone as far as to shout, Cyclone Style Tornado Super Hurricane, as this quadruple attack itself had now gone as far as to merge itself in one in striking Cell Max directly, as one would only go as far as to assume that this would be the end of Cell Max if written in such a way, as unfortunately enough it ended up actually being the opposite, with no significant damage being dealt onto Cell Max's body, because even despite with Cell Max being shown crashing all throughout the landscape and going flying out into the distance, was when the boys went on to celebrate, as Gohan then went on to respond, oh yeah, just look at them go! Well, despite the childish antics, Piccolo responds, they've managed to really buy us some time. Well, Gohan feeling fit to fight again, with Gohan responding, sure, more. Well, enough to turn Super Saiyan anyways. To which, of course, this celebration was now proven to be short-lived, because as soon as Cell Max had now gone as to erupt by unleashing more of his power, was when things really began to heat up, especially with the way Cell Max was shown having to go about this, as Trunks then quickly went on to respond, for real? So that didn't do a thing? As of course it didn't, because the moment Cell Max was then shown having to jump right back in, and also from that point being shown increasing his speed, because as soon as Cell Max was casually shown having to one-shot both Goten and Trunks out of their Super Saiyan forms, including both of the Gammas, by no means was Cell Max willing to slow down, as even everyone that was watching this were seemingly very concerned by this, because one by one, as soon as Cell Max had gotten rid of Trunks, then Goten, and then having to pursue the Gammas, was when even the others had gone as far as to put this in question, as Krillin went on to respond, how in the world? It's like Cell Max had changed up his moves, in which with one strike as Cell Max was now shown sending the Gammas flying away, was when Piccolo then went on to respond, oh, that monster, we weren't seeing that kind of speed a moment ago. Yeah, and his powers just keep on building, Gohan went on to respond. Oh, and I think he's getting used to fighting too. Oh, fantastic, Piccolo responds, with Trunks chiming in, oh, yikes, we better whip out our last resort, Goten. And so now get ready for fusion, with Goten responding, fusion? Oh, well, I hope I remember how. In which seconds later, in typical fashion, similar to that of the film, as soon as Goten and Trunks were now shown having to fuse, was when, as per usual, they had now gone as far as to mess the fusion up and now giving birth to fat Gotenks, as even Gotenks themselves were now flabbergasted by this, but even then, they still had now gone as far as to try and turn Super Saiyan anyways, but to no avail, which had only now gone as far as to leave everybody else shocked by this, as Fat Tanks went on to respond, oh crap, even so, I better let him have it. To which in actuality, Gotenks did not do a damn thing, but instead ends up getting himself one-shotted, as Piccolo then went on to ask, oh damn it, what are those numbskulls doing? We're out of time. Damn, come on, Gohan. Alright, hey, can you watch over Pan, Bulma? You got it, Bulma shouts, to which as Gohan and Piccolo were now shown powering up and jumping in, was when all that was left were both Android 18 and Krillin, was when 18 went on to chime in, fine, then here I go too if I must, to which as 18 was then shown joining, was when Krillin then went on to shout, oh, go team, yeah, I'll just be here protecting Bulma and Pan. Well, look at that, finally found yourself a task, did ya? Bulma then went on to comedically respond, to which even then with 18, Piccolo and Gohan shown jumping right back in and doing their best, or at least trying to get the better of Cell Max, in similar fashion to that of the film, it looked as though nothing they were doing, on top of even having to see Gohan fire off a Kamehameha, was proven to be ineffective enough against Cell Max, because even despite with all of their efforts being shown having to be used against Cell Max, had only now proven to enrage Cell Max that much more, and because of this had only now resulted in Cell Max's energy being shown blowing everybody away, as Gamma 1 went on to shout, damn it, no, aim for the top of his head. Oh, why there, Gohan went on to ask. It's his only weak point. Dr. Hedo made sure that Cell Max had a weakness just in case it came down to this. Hey, but be warned, Gamma 2 went on to then quickly chime back in. The moment anyone nails that weak point, it'll trigger a massive explosion that'll obliterate every last one of Cell Max's cells and then some. And whoever does it won't survive, to which as everyone was now left in shock, both of the Gammas were now shown having to try anyway, with everyone being shown combining their efforts and doing the same, as Piccolo then went on to shout, alright, aim for the head, everyone! To which even then, surprisingly enough, it's not as though Cell Max didn't understand as to what everyone was trying to do, because as soon as Cell Max was then shown having to bob and weave, including having to be shown running away, and from that point making sure that none of their attacks were successful, it didn't appear as though anyone had any sort of luck in actually being able to land a successful shot, as Gohan went on to shout, oh yikes, he's really quick. Oh damn it, hitting the head's a big task when the guy won't sit still, 18 shouts. I better help out too, Krillin then went on to quickly shout by running in. Oh damn it, this isn't working, he needs to be held in place, Gamma 2 responds. Oh damn it, listen, I'll distract him and you blast him with your max power, Gamma 1 shouts. To which once again, in a coordinated effort, as everyone was still trying to do the same in blasting the top of Cell Max's cranium, the only difference here by comparison to that of the film is it really looks as though everyone was struggling failing in landing a successful shot on his head. That was, of course, until Gamma 2 was shown above Cell Max and combining all of the energy he had into his weapon in firing down upon Cell Max, in which one would only go as far as to assume that even this itself would be enough to do any sort of damage in putting Cell Max down for good, because despite with Gamma 2 having to shout for Cell to chew on this, by from that point them being shown firing his gun and nailing Cell Max, did this itself had only now proven to be ineffective enough once again until Piccolo was then shown having to blast Cell Max from above, which had only momentarily gone as far as to stun Cell Max, but really not do any sort of significant damage that would make any sort of difference, because the moment Cell's body began to activate in emitting these laser-like energy blasts that had now gone as far as to rock the entire landscape, with everyone that was on the current battlefield trying to do their best in avoiding all of these laser beams, the only other individual that was left helpless by this was, of course, Pan, with Bulma having to notice this, which ultimately prompted Bulma in having to shout for Pan to retreat, to which, as she was then shown doing, it almost looked as though Pan wasn't going to make it whatsoever, with Krillin having to take notice of this, because it was Krillin that had gone as far as to save Pan from inevitable danger, as Krillin then went on to respond, "Whoa, phew, that was a close call there. Whoa, thanks for the save," Bulma responds. Maybe I should just fire up the ship so that, you know, we can just hightail it out of here just in case if it's necessary, you know? Oh, darn it. Well, that didn't work. We need to hit him harder, Piccolo went on to address the Gammas by telling them. Well, after thinking it over, yeah, there's only one other option left, Gamma 2 went on to respond. Hey, you mean... No, not that, Gamma 1 chimes in. No, don't even try it. Just don't, or at least I should join you at least, with Gamma 2 responding, nope, you already have a job, and that's to save Dr. Hedo. Wait, what? Listen, just take a peep with your bioform scope and see that he's not dead. Wait, what? Do you mean it? To which, as Gamma 1 was now shown scouting the area and finding Dr. Hedo, Gamma 2's overall assessment in Dr. Hedo being alive was in fact correct, as Gamma 2 then went on to respond, you ought to be more observant, Gamma 1, to which, as Gamma 2 was now alluding to his inevitable sacrifice, where Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 97 then comes to a close. Now, you can make no mistake about the fact that with the end now seemingly near, it almost now appears as though we only have just a few more chapters left before this story is officially over, as many of the fans, including myself from around the world, are seemingly getting tired of this and just want everything to move forward. We can only now expect for several events to take place, including Gamma 2's sacrifice, the battle between Giant Orange Piccolo and Cell Max, and the arrival of Beast Gohan to happen, to where I want to go on ahead and get your thoughts and opinions on how you guys feel about the following questions being put forward, and that's question number 1. Do you believe that the entirety of the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie retelling is going to end somewhat before Jump Festa in December, or do you believe that the entirety of what is about to take place involving Cell Max's destruction is going to take place prior? Question number 2. On a rating scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being absolute trash and with 5 being phenomenal, what would you guys rank Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 97 and why? And lastly, question number 3 is, do you expect to see the final battle involving Cell Max versus Beast Gohan to be a bit more of a lengthy one, or are they bound to keep everything the same and just simply have Gohan one-shot Cell Max by the very end? Because hopefully enough, with all of this having to culminate with the new reveal of the upcoming arc following the events of this story, maybe by then all of this is inevitably going to either build up towards Black Frieza, or perhaps even introduce a new enemy prior to Black Frieza being the big baddie of the series, because either way, even though this manga chapter to me was okay, with Cell Max really not appearing to be as big of a threat as the last chapter, I think it's safe to say that a lot of us are just waiting for all of this to be over and done with, because there seems to be a plan in place involving both Piccolo and Gohan, but the real question here is, will they execute on giving us a solid and cohesive story afterwards that will just so happen to involve Goku, Vegeta, Broly, Piccolo, and Gohan against the common enemy? So again, I want to go on ahead and get your thoughts down in the comment section below, to which, as always, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so very much for your time, to where if you also just so happen to be new to this channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage for you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more, and with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unrelent Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
Vegeta recalls the girl that Goku hung out with for a long time. Bulma, was it? He met her at the castle and at the tournament. He knew from Goku that she was the daughter of Dr. Briefs from Capsule Corp. Vegeta knew if he wanted to stay ahead of Kakarot as well as train Piccolo, he would need some help. One day, Vegeta and Piccolo arrived with cloaks on at Capsule Corp. It nearly gave Bulma a heart attack. She hadn't seen Vegeta in many years. He was even more handsome, though she would never admit it, especially with Piccolo's scary face nearby. She said that Kakarot wasn't around, and that she knew they were trouble. Vegeta was actually a little awkward, which confused Piccolo. He had never seen him like this. Vegeta yelled at the Earthling woman that she shouldn't speak to him that way. He had come to request help. He needed a place to train, one that would make him powerful in a short amount of time. He needed to train Piccolo and keep ahead of Kakarot. She asked why she should help, and Vegeta took a step closer to her chest. She blushed, but he said that he would spare her life if she did. Though there was some arguing, Bulma ended up agreeing to help. She needed Vegeta's old Saiyan pod to create it, but she and her father made a gravity chamber. Vegeta raised Piccolo to be a strong warrior and a Namekian with the pride of a Saiyan. He wasn't kind, but the kid was strong, and he could definitely handle Vegeta's hellish training. Piccolo was a vengeful soul, his thoughts filled with revenge towards Vegeta. Piccolo swore to kill him for having humiliated him in his previous life, but the prince found it amusing. In fact, he encouraged Piccolo to continue hating him. His drive for revenge would serve as fuel for his training. He wanted Piccolo Jr. to be his greatest challenge yet. He wanted Piccolo to be strong enough to kill him. This intense training and motivation pushed Piccolo to be much stronger than he would otherwise be. It was only a matter of time before he was powerful enough to defeat Kakarot, Vegeta thought to himself. Unbeknownst to Vegeta, Piccolo was having a conflict deep within. Kami had visited him a few times in secret. They hated each other, but Kami offered to help him train alongside Kakarot. Despite his intense loathing for his evil half, he knew that Vegeta was a greater threat than he would ever be, and they needed to work together to stop him. Piccolo was smart though, and he played both sides. He would train with Vegeta in the gravity chamber, and then train with Goku in the Room of Spirit and Time in secret. He actually liked Kakarot somewhat, though they never trusted each other. His kind-hearted nature was a refreshing change from Vegeta's ruthless and cold demeanor. Slowly, Piccolo started to soften up a little, thanks to Goku. His demeanor was changing, but it caused great turmoil in his heart. Should he continue to be ruthless and brutal like his master Vegeta? Or should he be gentle, yet unwavering like Goku? Kami could sense the storm brewing in Piccolo's heart. He never thought the spawn of true evil could change, but he was, and right in front of his eyes. This even made Kami think about what Vegeta could be thinking. If Goku was right, could he change as well? Kami looked on at Piccolo's training, thinking to himself how strange it is that after all this time spent hating each other, the two halves of the same person are working together to face a new threat. Maybe, just maybe, this could mean they could become one again. No, that's crazy. It's far too soon. But, for the first time in a while, Kami was hopeful, just like his pupil Goku. With such powerful training partners, Goku and Piccolo's strength rose to new heights. Vegeta was filled with anticipation. He could sense their growing ki with each passing day. Vegeta grinned as his Saiyan blood rushed with excitement. Finally, he would have the battle he was looking for. One day, Piccolo left Vegeta's flying fortress and never returned. The Pilaf gang were saddened, but Vegeta didn't seem to care. Rather, he wondered if it meant that their battle would be drawing coming soon. Sure enough, a few weeks later, Vegeta received a rude awakening when Piccolo reappeared abruptly, stopping the flying fortress with his bare hands. Vegeta got out and asked why he had come crawling back, but it was Piccolo the one who laughed, saying that he was finally ready to take his revenge. However, rather than fighting here in the skies, he had a more suitable stage in mind, the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai. Once he kills him in front of the whole world, Piccolo will begin his subjugation of the planet. Vegeta chuckles as he tells him he'll be looking forward to it. The tournament commences tomorrow, and he expects to see him there. Goku and Vegeta arrive at the tournament. Piccolo had also gone to Kami's lookout to personally challenge Kakarot. While Piccolo plans to kill Vegeta, he also wants to face Kakarot in an honorable combat to see who has improved the most. If they can't defeat him, then he'll start his reign of terror on Earth. The pair enter the tournament, along with Krillin and Yamcha. They were eager to prove themselves after losing the previous world tournament. Bulma shows up as well to cheer them on, but realizes that Vegeta is there and openly flirts with him. She had broken up with Yamcha a while back. Vegeta actually gets flustered at this, which greatly pleases her, but infuriates Yamcha. Goku just looks on in confusion. During the preliminaries, the Z Fighters and Piccolo breeze through the competition, but there is a lone fighter that catches Vegeta's attention. It was a muscular, bald man with a third eye. His name was Tenshinhan. According to Krillin, he was the champion of the previous Tenkaichi Budokai. He was the one who humiliated Yamcha and Krillin in the last tournament. During the past few years, Goku was completely focused on his training, and, as a result, he never entered the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. Because he never fought Goku nor Jackie Chun, Tien is still a malicious, deadly assassin with a twisted heart. He approached the Z Fighters, mocking Yamcha and Krillin, asking them if they've come back to get their legs broken again. They are about to yell back, but Vegeta tells them to shut up. If they truly have improved, then they'll prove it in the ring. Tien taunts Vegeta, asking him if he's friends with these weaklings, but Vegeta chuckles. They weren't fit enough to lick his boots, and neither was he. Tien was furious, but he smiles, stating smugly that he'll enjoy breaking them apart. His first match is against Vegeta. Despite being cocky before, Tien is immediately overwhelmed. No matter how many attacks he uses, Vegeta simply overcomes all of them. Not even the Kiko Ho stood a chance. Vegeta simply took a blast head on and came out without a scratch. Vegeta won, but not before telling him to clean up his act and get his head straight. His clouded soul is reflected in his sloppy fighting. Tien realizes that he's right. This humbling experience showed him that he wanted more than anything else the thrill of battle, not dominating others. Tien bows and thanks Vegeta for the lesson, but Vegeta simply scoffs. In reality, he saw a little of himself in Tien. Goku and Piccolo's battle is the one that Vegeta looks forward to the most, even more so than his own battle. It was spectacular. He had trained both men at least some, and he watched them use his own techniques and their own. Vegeta did realize that a lot of their attacks seemed very similar to Kami's techniques that he taught Goku. Piccolo must have learned a little bit from that deity as well. Goku's Kamehameha and Piccolo's Gallic Gun clashed. Vegeta actually wasn't sure who would win. Kakarot had spent some time in the time chamber, but he wasn't a fan of it. He only went in there with Piccolo, but Piccolo had a lot more training with Vegeta than Goku did. He was built specifically to defeat this younger Saiyan, and though Goku had the power advantage at first, Piccolo's training really showed off in the second half. Not only had his training with Goku helped him get stronger, but it also gave him an insight into his weaknesses. Goku was far too loose with his movements, even cocky. Piccolo exploited this, surprising Goku with something that he had never shown off before, his arm extension. He juked Goku and made him expect a punch, only for his arm to move behind Goku and pull him out of the arena. In this surprise twist of events, Piccolo defeated Goku in the tournament. The Namekian was happy with the victory, but Goku was not his goal. He still needed to avenge his father. Kami watched from above at the lookout. He had wanted to enter the tournament, but Goku promised that him and Piccolo are enough to take down Vegeta if needed. He still wasn't sure. He was dealing with a lot, not only Piccolo and Vegeta, but also the fact that he now knows that he's an alien, a Namekian. What else was there for him? In the finals, Vegeta fights Piccolo and it's a spectacular match. Piccolo goes all out as he uses every single ability and technique at his disposal. Stretchy limbs, multiform, paralysis, giant form, etc. He even developed a new, deadly technique just to kill Vegeta, the Makankozapo, Special Beam Cannon. For the first time in his life, Vegeta is excited in a battle. He congratulates Piccolo for pushing him this far and thanks him for the match. However, he says that he's going to bring it to an end before he can do any harm to the people here. Piccolo asks what he means by this, and Vegeta drops a bombshell. Not once, since he's he's been on this planet has he ever revealed his true power. Not once. He powers up to the maximum, as everyone, including Kami, Piccolo, and Goku, look on in horror and disbelief. He declared himself a Super Saiyan, though his appearance didn't change at all. Piccolo tries anything he can to fight Vegeta, but it's no use. Vegeta easily defeats Piccolo, and the prince is announced as the winner of the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai. But Vegeta spares Piccolo's life once more, as he encourages him to continue training so he can kill the prince someday. Piccolo has nothing else to say and leaves. Goku gets engaged with Chi-Chi during the tournament, and Bulma congratulates Vegeta with a kiss on the cheek, which makes him blush. Thus, the Saiyans raised on Earth have now grown up. Some time passed after the 23rd World Tournament. Vegeta has accepted that this piece of space rock is his new home. He at least takes solace in the fact that he has Bulma's gravity chamber, and Bulma herself, to keep him company. Things are starting to calm down as Goku and Piccolo continue their training. They no longer train at the lookout, nor in the Flying Fortress. Goku does it on his own during his free time and Mount Pautsu, after marrying Chi-Chi, while Piccolo roams the wastelands, though he does occasionally decide to sleep at the lookout as well. Meanwhile, Vegeta stays in his Flying Fortress with the Pilaf gang. Goku eventually has a son with Chi-Chi named Gohan, and his existence brings hope to Vegeta for their race, even if he doesn't want to admit it. He's also visiting Bulma more and more often, and they're even starting to go on dates. Vegeta is closer to Goku and his family. Vegeta is even starting to look at the Pilaf gang as friends, while viewing Bulma as something more. However, in the back of Vegeta's mind, he fears that he's growing too content. He's becoming complacent, soft. If the Frieza Force found this planet, all his happiness would be taken away in an instant. Gohan notices the storm brewing in his soul as he offers that he should go see the old Baba, the witch fortune teller. If he defeated her warriors, then she might tell him the future. Vegeta agrees as he single-handedly takes on Baba's tournament and wins easily. When she reads his fortune, images of space bots, the Frieza Force, and Frieza himself laughing over a destroyed city shine on her crystal ball. Vegeta is utterly shocked and terrified. This confirms his fear. He was getting too soft. The shadow of Frieza and the terror that he brings, always looming over this planet. He was a fool to think that the tyrant would never find him. Vegeta starts to become closed off and distant from everyone. The Pilaf gang, Bulma, Goku, and Gohan notice this. They're all worried. Chi-Chi recommends that Goku invites Vegeta and Bulma for a dinner to celebrate Gohan's second birthday. He thinks that this is a great idea, as Goku invites his brother and the Pilaf gang to their home. Everyone has a great time. Even Vegeta seems to be enjoying himself. During dinner, Goku and Gohan reminisce on their past, as Vegeta finally decides it's time to tell everyone. Goku asks point blank what's bothering him. Vegeta tells everyone about his worries, about Frieza, his visit to Baba's, her visions, and his fear for this planet and himself. They aren't ready to face the tyrant. Goku and Gohan say that they can just continue training and prepare for what's to come next, but Vegeta just can't trust them. He views them all as weaklings, and it's this planet and its weakness that scare him so much. He's scared that everyone on this planet will die unless he does something drastic. He declares to everyone that he plans to take over Earth so that he can prepare for Frieza's inevitable invasion. Following his declaration of his plan to take over Earth, Vegeta stormed out of the house. Kakarot stood in front of Vegeta, pleading with him to stop this, but Vegeta was dead set on his plan to subjugate the planet. Kakarot balled up his fist and warned Vegeta to stop, or else. Vegeta sighed as he placed a hand on Kakarot's face, stating that this was for his own good. Goku is surprised by this sudden display of affection when he is swiftly kneed in the stomach. The force of the blow knocked the wind out of Goku as he dropped to his knees. Vegeta states coldly that the weak don't get to make demands, as he orders the Pilaf gang to follow him. They have a lot of work to do ahead of them. Bulma tried to stop him, but it was too late. They were gone, as Chi-Chi and Grandpa Gohan helped up Goku. He cursed under his breath. He hopes that he wasn't being serious, but he did feel the storm brewing with Vegeta. Kakarot had known that his brother had struggled with his desire to defeat Frieza, and his changing heart with the love of Earth. He promised Bulma and everyone else to go and see, as well as talk to him soon. But right now, Vegeta probably needed some time alone. Goku would also go see Piccolo. He may need his help. in getting Vegeta to calm down. Once Bulma returned to her home, she realized that the gravity chamber was on, but locked. It would remain this way for nearly a week. Grandpa Gohan was extremely worried about Vegeta. He had always said things like this before, but this time he seemed serious. Grandpa called over Goku, explaining to him that it was time he learned something new. One final technique that may help him against his brother. He knew they didn't have much time, but they would have to make do. He was going to teach him the way he moved, how he instinctively allowed his body to weave and dodge. Master Roshi was much better at it, but he wanted to have this time to teach Kakarot one final lesson. Thus, over the next few days, Gohan worked diligently with Goku to help him enter this mindset. This lack of ego. It was no transformation, just instinct. Goku noticed a huge difference by the end of it, but he couldn't quite do it well. This was a heightened state of being, where one leaks no ki and achieves enlightenment. It was a very advanced form of martial arts, and Goku struggled with it. One day, Bulma rudely woke up to an explosion. Vegeta had destroyed the chamber from inside out. She resigned to call over Goku, and he soon arrived to pick her up on the flying Nimbus. She held on to Goku as they flew towards the lookout where Chi-Chi and Grandpa Gohan, as well as Little Gohan and Piccolo, were waiting for them. Kami had offered them sanctuary there, while things were turbulent back down on the mortal realm. Goku promised he would bring back Vegeta. He sensed his ki rising. He was heading towards the Earth's capital. He nodded at Piccolo. The Namekian wanted to be the one to defeat Vegeta and rule the world. He wasn't going to let them get in his way. Goku left Chi-Chi and Gohan with Bulma, so they would be safe in case something happened. Grandpa Gohan would stay behind as well to protect them in case anything happens. He looked at Goku and Piccolo, wishing them good luck in knocking some sense into Vegeta. Goku gives them a thumbs up as the two warriors rush towards Vegeta's ki presence. As they watched them go, Chi-Chi put a hand on Bulma's back, ensuring her that it would be okay. Bulma said that she hoped so, as she rubbed her belly. Chi-Chi and Grandpa Gohan's eyes widened. Goku and Piccolo reached the capital, realizing that some of the Earth warriors had felt the presence as well and found their way there. Krillin, Yamcha, and even Tien arrived. It was a scene of pure destruction as Vegeta swooped tanks and soldiers with every movement. Hellfire surrounded them, and Vegeta welcomed them. He was holding onto the King of Earth with one hand and a ki ball burning in the other. Before the battle began, Vegeta dropped the king and extended out his arm to the fighters. He acknowledged them as weaklings and knew that Kakarot would never join him. But Piccolo and Tien, they saw things his way. They knew how necessary power was to protect others. He offered them a chance to join him in his quest to protect Earth. Goku's head spun to look at them. Piccolo crossed his arms, explaining that if anyone is to take over Earth, it would be him, not Vegeta. The prince scoffed and turned to look at Tien. He looked down. He could feel the terrible power that Vegeta held, but he was right. Everyone here was too weak for him, and Vegeta wants to defend them? He must know something much scarier than himself. Tien thought of Chaozu, and he finally began to flow towards Vegeta. The prince smiled, welcoming him as a new ally, declaring that this planet now belonged to the Prince of all Saiyans. The battle began with an explosive Kiko-Ho from Tien down to the Z-Fighters. They all dodged it, with Goku yelling back at Krillin and Yamcha to take care of Tien, while Piccolo and himself will handle Vegeta. Tien fights Krillin and Yamcha. Despite their best efforts, it doesn't go well. After losing to Vegeta in the previous World Tournament, Tien vowed to get stronger and followed a new path so he could one day challenge Vegeta. As a result, he trained non-stop for years, which resulted in him becoming stronger. Yamcha tries to keep Tien busy, rushing him down with a Wolf-Fang fist. As Krillin charges a Kamehameha, Tien notices this as he focuses his ki, creating 2 extra arms behind his back. As Tien blocks each of Yamcha's strikes, he uses 2 of his hands to trap Yamcha in a chokehold, as he uses his other 2 hands to redirect the Kamehameha back at Krillin. The bald man is sent flying, crashing into a nearby building, as Yamcha struggles to push off Tien before falling unconscious. Elsewhere, Goku and Piccolo are able to put up a better fight, but just barely. They have an advantage in numbers, and they know each other's techniques and movements better than anyone. However, Vegeta is still an overwhelming force. He is the strongest being to ever appear in the history of Earth, and he knows it. Vegeta is confident that he can crush these 2 fools. Perhaps he may be too confident in his battle, which could give the pair a much-needed opening. This moment comes when Piccolo manages to block one of Vegeta's punches and immediately counterattacks by appearing above Vegeta and slamming him down to the ground with his elbow. The ground cracks into a small crater as Vegeta grabs Piccolo and slams him back down, leaving him prone on the dirt. Vegeta stands back up, ready to fire a point-blank ki blast when, suddenly, a rocket launched from far away, exploding behind Vegeta, which catches him by surprise. Vegeta turns around, asking out loud who dares interrupt the battle. In the distance, a giant mech stands tall and smoke flaring from his chest. It was the Pilaf machine. Both Goku and Vegeta stand in shock, with Piccolo yelling at the Pilaf gang to get away. This wasn't their battle. Vegeta snarls, demanding to know what the meaning of this insubordination is. Pilaf cries out that they won't let him hurt Piccolo anymore. But not only that, they're tired of seeing Vegeta in this pain. Vegeta's taken aback by this, and Shu chimes in, saying that he knows how much he's hurting. He's been shouldering the burden of the world on his own, and it kills them to see him like this. But that doesn't mean he should save them all like this. This isn't him. Mai jumps in to say that they're here to stop Vegeta before it's too late. It's because they all care about him, and they're stepping in to stop him from making the worst mistake of his life. While Vegeta is distracted, thinking about what he just heard, Piccolo regains his footing as he hits Vegeta in the ribs with a karate chop, cracking his armor. Piccolo yells at Goku that it's now or never as Goku rushes in. Together, both Goku and Piccolo assault Vegeta with a dual meteor combination attack. The pair manage to land 2 clean hits that temporarily stun Vegeta as they jump upwards, charging 2 Gallic guns and firing them both directly at the prince. At first, it looks like Vegeta might be defeated, but as the smoke clears, Vegeta roars as he bursts his ki open. In a few swift moments, Vegeta appears behind Goku and Piccolo, bashing their hands together and blasting them into the king's tower, obliterating the building. The Pilaf machine fires all of its weapons, but not a single missile or bullet manages to connect with the target. Vegeta fires several small ki blasts from his finger, destroying the machine, as the Pilaf gang is forced to eject themselves from the mech before it explodes. As the battle seems to be drawing to a swift end, Vegeta and Tien stand side by side as the prince proclaims to everyone that he's doing this for their own good. If they can't beat him now, then they'd be doomed once Frieza arrives with his army. It seems hopeless for the Sea Fighters, but they feel a strange presence arrive. Was that a baby Gamera? They all turn around to see Roshi land from his Gamera, accompanied by Grandpa Gohan on the flying Nimbus. Vegeta and Gohan stare down, while Roshi stood before Tien. Roshi tells Tien that he mustn't let fear and doubt cloud his new path, that he changed for the better already. He must not go back to what he used to be. Meanwhile, Gohan pleads with Vegeta to reconsider his actions and stop this before it's too late. He was not only his student, but his son. Vegeta's heart dropped when he heard this, but he couldn't stray from his goal now. Even as a tear fell from his face, Vegeta gets angry and adamantly proclaims that he's doing this to save everyone. Tien is quiet, feeling conflicted in his heart. Without any other choice, Roshi and Gohan tell their pupils to sit back and watch. This will serve as a reminder that brute force is not the way of the Turtle School, and it is not the only way to win a battle. Tien and Vegeta go into attack, but are stunned to see the old masters dodge their attacks. While both are shocked, Vegeta is the one who is truly aghast. He had become vastly stronger, faster, and smarter since he arrived on this planet many years ago. But still, he can't seem to touch Gohan. Gohan tells Vegeta that this is one technique he knew the prince always struggled with. However, it's something Kakarot is starting to grasp, which infuriates Vegeta. Gohan extends his hand out to Vegeta with a sad smile, telling him that his pride has driven him somewhere he does not belong. He can't give up his soul for this pride. Vegeta stands his ground. His pride is the one thing he will never throw away. Vegeta manages to successfully hit Gohan away and knock him into the king's castle, reacting faster than he could think. He didn't hold back. He could have killed Gohan. Sweat falls down Vegeta's face. Gohan lays on the rubble, unmoving. Everyone turns to see Goku, shaking uncontrollably. They expect him to get furious, but he's not. Goku looks down as he states out loud that he understands Gohan's lesson. He's not fighting alone. Goku takes slow steps towards Vegeta and asks him why he fights. Vegeta opens his mouth to say something, but nothing comes out. Is it to save others? For the thrill of battle? To prove his superiority? Goku explains that as long as Vegeta doesn't understand why he fights, he'll never be able to protect anyone, let alone the entire planet. Goku's ki skyrockets as everyone sees a white glow surround his body. Krillin and Tien remark that they don't sense any ki leave his body, as Roshi smiles, saying that he's done it. Goku has let go of his ego and obtained enlightenment. The No Ego Zone. Don't mistake this, true believers. This isn't Ultra Instinct. Nowhere near it. But it is an impressive martial arts technique that Master Roshi did show off during the Tournament of Power in the manga. Goku turns to tell Roshi to take care of Gohan, then turns to Vegeta, telling him that their fight will continue somewhere away from everyone, somewhere private. With the Saiyans gone, Tien sees no other choice but to use the multi-form technique to fight the rest of the Z-Fighters. But seeing what Vegeta did to Gohan definitely made his passion falter, and slowly he found a lack of hope for victory. Piccolo finally restrained him, pointing a blast to his face. He told him to give up, and Tien resigned from the battle. He felt like he had chosen the wrong side. Goku and Vegeta arrive at a desolate wasteland, far away from civilization, as the two Saiyans stare each other down. Goku and Vegeta argue about Gohan's teachings and their meaning. Vegeta only sees them as means to defeat Frieza, while Goku sees them as a way to better oneself. Vegeta argues that the low-class Saiyan wouldn't ever understand. This actually hurts Goku, who says that he isn't just a low-class Saiyan, he is his brother. While the battle is initially in Goku's favor, upon entering the no-ego zone and dodging Vegeta's attacks, Vegeta's anger grows as he uses more and more power. Eventually, Goku realizes that he can't stay in the no-ego zone for long without sustaining mental strain. Slowly, Vegeta gets the upper hand, unyielding in his attack. He was still stronger than his brother. Him being able to dodge most of the punches means nothing when each punch landed counted as 100. Vegeta lands one more punch against Goku's face, making the Saiyan fall on his back. Vegeta continues to punch over and over, angry, but slowly let up. Goku spat on the side, then looked at Vegeta's eyes. They were pleading with him to give up. Goku smirked, however, saying, I could do this all day. Goku's aura exploded, pushing the Saiyan Prince back. It looked as if, for a second, his hair turned golden. But that couldn't be it, could it? Vegeta staggered in surprise, hurt. Goku could barely stand. Whatever that power was, took a lot out of the younger Saiyan. Vegeta knew this was it. This next move would end the fight. With the last of his strength, Goku stood back up, cupped his hands. Vegeta did the same. But in a strange twist of fate, Vegeta fired the Kamehameha, while Goku fired the Galick Gun. It was clear that Vegeta was the one with the upper hand, but Goku took a deep breath, closing his eyes. There was no sound, no movement, just the warmth of the key ball in his hand. He needed to concentrate. He couldn't hold the blast for much longer, and the no-ego zone even less. He had a plan, he just needed an opening. Vegeta could see it, the world under his command, endless resources to train and defeat Frieza. But even as he thought this, he felt bad, imagining all those people as subjects. He saw himself in them. Was he just becoming another Frieza for the sake of revenge? Goku's eyes bolted open. Vegeta's attack did not waver, but he could feel something was wrong within Vegeta's mind. He took this chance. Goku spun on his heel, taking full advantage of the no-ego zone, letting go of the blast for just a second, dodging the Kamehameha. Vegeta's eyes widened as he realized that Goku was now on the side of the blast. Goku smirked, firing the blast once more. Vegeta couldn't do anything but watch helplessly as he was consumed. It was done. For the first time in his life, Goku has defeated his brother, not by fighting as a Saiyan, but by fighting as an Earthling. Vegeta realized this as he regained consciousness. Vegeta himself could do that. He could fight as an Earthling, as he had done so before. Now he just had to remember to do it. He knew when to accept defeat. Perhaps, with the help of his brother, he could defeat Frieza and protect Earth. He jolted up. Realizing that he was surrounded by his friends, Goku smiled at him, and he smiled back. But his first thought was, where is Gohan? Thankfully, from behind Goku, the old man stood up with a smile. He was hurt, but he was still alive. Vegeta sighed in relief and apologized. He realized now that what he was doing was wrong, and that he should have more faith in his brother and everyone else. They still have a lot of training to do if they want to defend Earth, but it's a possibility. They can do it. Goku says that he's glad that he finally understands that. Krillin and the others still don't know if they can trust him just yet, but they promise that they will be around when Earth needs their help. Bulma runs up to Vegeta, slapping him across the face, telling him how much of an idiot he was. Vegeta blushed and said that he was sorry about everything. While apologizing, he placed his hand on Bulma's stomach, and his eyes widened, realizing that she was pregnant. She nodded brightly. He couldn't believe it. He was going to be a father. He looked at little Gohan and smiled. He could feel a great power coming from him. He could only imagine that his son or daughter would be the same way. If they can't protect Earth, then surely their kids could. But never mind that. They had a whole new reason to protect it. This new generation of heroes. But something loomed overhead. Something very dark, as similarly to Goku and Chi-Chi's wedding, Uranai Baba's present is to read the future. She does so, and she sees a space spot coming in close. It's the near future, no more than a couple of years. But this time, Vegeta has his friends to rely on, and he knows they can do it together. Whoever is on that space spot will be sorry they stepped on Earth. But that's for next time on Dragon Ball Z. Vegeta and Goku have settled on Earth, with Bulma trying her best to help Vegeta capture his fighting spirit once more by creating a gravity chamber. It has been some time since he tried to take over Earth, and most of them had forgiven him. Bulma and Vegeta even have a child, whom they name Trunks. Vegeta often visits Goku and his son, explaining to them legends from planet Vegeta, including the Super Saiyan. Goku aspires to reach that level, though Vegeta thinks it may still be some time, if it's even real at all. One day, a ship crashes on Earth, revealing that Qui has arrived. This is a massive change from the story we know. Vegeta recognizes the key and calls on Goku to accompany him to the crash site. Vegeta and Qui look each other in the eyes. Qui had no idea that the prince was on that planet. Their reunion is filled with tension. It is palpable. Qui comments on how it's such a shame that he doesn't have a scouter so Vegeta could tremble in fear of his power. But Vegeta simply laughs, saying that he doesn't need that at all. Vegeta questions why he's here, and Qui says that he was sent by Raditz. Vegeta's confused. Raditz was of course the Saiyan he once knew, a weakling, the brother of Kakarot, but he keeps that to himself. Instead, Vegeta tells Goku to stand aside, that this is between Qui and himself. But the training he's had on Earth proves to be way too much, with Qui losing badly. Through the battle, Vegeta thinks about something that Uranai Baba said long ago, the prediction that a Frieza ship would soon loom over planet Earth. Was it finally coming true? The two Saiyans interrogate him as he dies, and he explains once again that he was sent to Earth on Raditz's command, and that soon enough, he would be arriving on Earth with a whole platoon of soldiers. Vegeta couldn't believe that Raditz was even alive, let alone strong enough to be commanding Qui around. He didn't believe it, but why would Qui lie? Kakarot has many questions, but Vegeta is too worried. He doesn't tell Kakarot who Raditz was. He only explains that he was a weakling Saiyan that worked for him long ago, but apparently he had grown in power. Vegeta had previously deterred himself from space travel as to not reveal Earth's location, but it seemed like Raditz had known about Kakarot's whereabouts. And now, because of the scouter, Raditz must know that the prince is there as well. His location was compromised. Now Earth was a much bigger target, just because they knew that Vegeta was there. It was time to move. They couldn't sit around and wait to be killed. Vegeta knew where Frieza's planet was, but no, that was insane. There was no way he was going to just walk through there and demand that Frieza leave them alone. But Goku tells Vegeta that this is what they had been waiting for many years. Surely now Vegeta was strong enough to take that tyrant on, right? Vegeta shook his head. Yeah, he was strong, but it wasn't enough. Either way, they needed to take care of Raditz. All they could do for now is wait and train their hardest. Vegeta and Goku warn everyone else about the upcoming attack, and for the first time ever, the Z-Fighters all agree to train as a unit over at Kami's lookout. Even Piccolo joins in, with little Gohan and Trunks as well. The training is hard, but Vegeta encourages them all, though he has some trouble connecting with the Z-Fighters. Goku is much better at the speeches. Slowly, Vegeta gets a hold of that technique that Kakarot used against him, the no ego state, but it was difficult, clearly unrefined. All that sticks on Vegeta's mind was the Super Saiyan form. He wanted to reach that. Kakarot's enthusiasm about it made him want it even more. Eventually, a year passed, and a shadow looms over West City. Raditz was not alone. He had brought over a platoon of soldiers as well. The prince gulped as he watched the ship cast a shadow over Capsule Corp. It was time. Dozens of Frieza soldiers swarmed the cities, clearly trying to draw out someone. Thankfully, they couldn't sense Ki, but that also meant they would stop at nothing until they found Kakarot. That's what Raditz was after, wasn't it? Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, and Piccolo were summoned in order to defend the city. Though the Frieza soldiers were strong, they were simpletons. A lot of them only had blasters. Clearly, Frieza didn't trust Raditz with the good ones. The voice of Nappa echoes through the city as he says,
Come out, Prince Vegeta. We're here to welcome you back home.
He knew that the second his location was revealed, Frieza would come after him. As the Z-Fighters defended the city, Vegeta stepped out to stare at the ship, Kakarot at his side, while Gohan and Trunks fought alongside Piccolo, the person who had taken a liking to them and trained them at Kami's lookout. Goku and Vegeta waste no time rushing into the ship, and from it rose Raditz and Nappa. Raditz says,
Thanks to you, I knew where to find the prince. Frieza will reward me handsomely. Now, why don't you come along, and we can welcome you back into the Empire.
Goku was going to ask how he knew him, but Vegeta interrupted. I would have thought that me killing Kui would have been enough to send a message. We're not serving under a tyrant anymore. Leave Earth or suffer the consequences. Nappa kneeled before the prince, telling him that his guidance was greatly needed still. Vegeta dismissed Nappa, telling him that he doesn't need him. The Saiyan race is dead. He is no prince. Raditz was becoming angry. He told Vegeta, fine, but he knew that his brother would join him, extending out his hand to Goku. Goku's eyes widened. Did he hear that right?
Leave him out of this. You're nothing but a weakling Saiyan. That's where you're wrong, Prince. See, without you, Nappa and I had to get stronger in order to survive. So strong that we even surpassed your own powers some time ago.
Vegeta couldn't believe, but he was telling the truth. His ki was rising as he got angrier. Vegeta had enough and rushed in to challenge Raditz. Kakarot told him to wait. He wanted to find out more, but it was too late. Nappa was already swinging him around. Even with their preparation, Vegeta and Kakarot weren't ready for the Saiyans to have gotten so powerful. Vegeta noticed something. Raditz had bruises all over his body. It looked like Frieza had been using him as a punching bag for some time. No doubt that played a role as well. The more Saiyan neared death, the stronger they got. Raditz looks down at the prince before approaching him slowly. Vegeta knew there was no easy way to get out of this. Raditz sped up and rushed him suddenly, hitting him with an immediate and powerful right hook to the face. Staggered, Vegeta took a few seconds to gather himself before firing a Gallic gun straight back at him. Raditz knocks away the blast and smirks. Vegeta knew this battle was going to be a challenge. It would push him to his limits. He was determined to win despite this. The two continued to clash. Meanwhile, Nappa and Goku were already locked into battle. Nappa was a heavy hitter, something Goku learned the hard way. But like Vegeta, he wasn't going down easy. Thankfully, Goku has agility by his side and is able to evade a lot of attacks, though the surrounding area isn't so lucky, as he is pushed down from the ship and onto the ground below. Goku uses the no-ego zone as much as he can, but it is becoming too much. He decides to take the battle further away, so Vegeta and himself can focus solely on their own battles. Nappa follows Goku through the city, where they are soon greeted by Krillin, Yamcha, Piccolo, Gohan, Little Trunks, Tien, and Chaozu. Nappa is very quickly outnumbered, and they all begin to attack in unison. Explosions can be seen and heard from the back, where Vegeta and Raditz are battling. Goku sees this and grits his teeth. Krillin and the others tell him to go back and help, as it seems like Vegeta's having a harder time. They can handle this Saiyan, reassuring him that they have this under control. Goku hesitates, but then smiles, thanking them and rushing off to aid Vegeta. Nappa tries to stop him, but Krillin destroys the energy blast he fires with his own destructor disc, splitting it in half. Goku arrives and quickly spots a battle-damaged Vegeta. It's clear that Raditz was way too powerful. He had Vegeta on the ropes. Raditz explained what he had gone through, the years of beatings by Frieza. If Vegeta had been around, perhaps Frieza would have restrained himself. But not only was Raditz a Saiyan, a thing that Frieza hated the most, but he was also a low-class warrior, something that was unacceptable in Frieza's reign. I find it amusing that you chose to side with Prince Vegeta rather than your own brother, Kakarot. Goku stands there for a while, processing what he just heard. This stranger who just landed on Earth and attacked them was his brother. But why didn't Vegeta tell him? He felt betrayed. He made his way to Raditz, looking at him with a confused expression. That's right, Kakarot. I'm glad to see that you know where your loyalties lie. Vegeta spat some blood out, telling Goku that he can't join him, that their home is on Earth, that he's sorry he didn't say anything about Raditz, but that he thought it would be best for Goku to have no attachments to that side of his past. He didn't even think that Raditz was alive. Goku looked back at Vegeta, with some tears filling his eyes. He raised his hand slowly, focusing his ki. Vegeta closed his eyes. He couldn't believe it, but he was actually going to be killed by Kakarot. But Goku continued to talk. I have a brother. His name is Vegeta. Suddenly, he turned his hand aiming it directly towards Raditz, firing a blast in point-blank range. Vegeta was very proud of his brother as Raditz was sent flying back. Goku helped his brother up. The two nodded at each other, ready to face off against Raditz. The two battles continued, with the tide turning to support Earth. Raditz was beating a lot of the Z-Fighters, with Yamcha and Chaozu being taken out of the fight, though saved by Trunks and Gohan. Nappa was ping-ponged around between Piccolo, Krillin, and Tien. Three different styles of martial arts combining into one, culminating in Trunks and Gohan firing a huge blast. Everyone was surprised. It was clear that these half-breed Saiyans were something to take seriously. In the end, Nappa was defeated. The Z-Fighters rushed in to try and help Vegeta and Goku, but they were stopped, as they told them that this was their battle. Gohan and Trunks cheered their parents on. Raditz was slowly being taken down, but he said something that made Vegeta look both ways. He said that he would definitely win if he had a chance to turn into an Ozaru. Everyone went silent as Vegeta smirked. His pride wouldn't allow him to win this way. Without any warning, he threw an artificial moon to the sky, forcing Raditz to transform into an Ozaru. And to his own surprise, he could control it. The city was slowly being destroyed, something which Goku scolded Vegeta about. How could he allow this to happen? But Vegeta said that they had to do it at their full potential. They couldn't just win against someone who wasn't using their full power. Goku didn't disagree, but the city was suffering because of it. Goku yelled at the Z-Fighters to evacuate the city, and they all rushed to do so. In the meantime, the fight against Ozaru Raditz was difficult, but Goku had to admit, it was fun. But Goku was knocked down. He couldn't keep going at this rate. Perhaps Vegeta really had made a mistake. But as Raditz began to focus on him, Vegeta sighed, focused his ki, and breathed in. He could do it. He could feel where Raditz's next move was going to be. With his eyes closed, he dodged. A punch, a kick, a mouth blast. He could dodge it all. Of course it helped that Raditz was slower as an Ozaru. Vegeta had finally been able to use the no-ego zone, even if for a bit. He did it for just long enough to distract Raditz and have Goku regain his composure. Vegeta finally reopened his eyes to see that he was standing in front of his brother. He had reached him and defended him. They look up to see Raditz punch down, both of his fists crashing down, but the two Saiyans jumped back. This gave them a chance to rush up Ozaru Raditz's hands. They ran up and blasted Raditz in the face. He was blinded, screaming in pain. Taking inspiration by Krillin's technique, both Goku and Vegeta fire a Kienzan at Raditz's tail, cutting it off. Raditz lands on the ground, defeated, slowly regaining his vision, though things are still blurry. He was tired, beat. His platoon was defeated, and his ship was on fire. All he had left to do was call down his Saiyan pod and leave. But Vegeta stepped on Raditz's hand as he tried to call it. Goku stood behind him with his arms crossed. Vegeta said,
"Give Frieza a message for me. Earth isn't going to stand still as he continues to terrorize planets. We're coming for you, Lord Frieza."
With that, Vegeta stepped off of Raditz, letting him call the pod, cursing as he gets on it and sets off to space. Goku wonders if that was the right call, but admits that he wants to fight him again. Vegeta chuckles, saying,
"Me too."
The Z-Fighters gather around, looking at the destruction. This is gonna take a lot of time, but they have to rebuild. They have to find the Dragon Balls. But Vegeta has also something else in mind. He tells the Z-Fighters to stay on Earth, to look for the Dragon Balls, while him, Goku, and Piccolo will head towards a different planet. They're all confused. Space travel? Yes. Vegeta is done hiding. Kakarot is done hiding. Vegeta realized that they need to do this for every planet in their universe. They're taking the fight right to Frieza. Earth's most formidable fighters gathered together to formulate a plan. Previously, Raditz and Nappa attacked Earth while looking for Kakarot and Prince Vegeta. Though Raditz was left alive, this was only so he could warn Frieza about his impending doom. It was clear to Vegeta that if he wanted peace, he would have to approach Frieza himself. Krillin thinks this is far too dangerous, and Piccolo agrees, but if they attacked Earth before, they will do it again with stronger forces. Goku says that it's going to be too dangerous for the kids, so Gohan and Trunks will remain on Earth despite their protests. With the help of Bulma, they create a brand new spaceship, one with gravity chambers that are strong enough to contain them all. Vegeta is a little anxious about the battle ahead. This is what he had been training for all his life, but Goku encourages him. He knows that his older brother can do anything he sets his mind to. Vegeta thanks him for his conviction and promises that he will make not only Goku proud, but also the whole Saiyan race, and especially little kid Gohan and Trunks. The team takes off to space in search of Frieza. Raditz kneels before his emperor, sweat dripping from his forehead as he finishes explaining his defeat and the rest of the situation. Frieza slams his tail against the ground, creating a shockwave. He was extremely angry. Raditz feared for his life, but the emperor simply pet him, saying, "Oh, Raditz, you are proof that there is such a thing as a good Saiyan. I've got plans for you. Come." While on their way to planet Frieza, Goku, Vegeta, Krillin, Piccolo, and Tien all trained. Thanks to Bulma and her father, this spaceship was equipped with a gravity chamber, though Piccolo had to stop the two Saiyans multiple times in case they got near to destroying the ship. One night, Vegeta sat at the door, smirking. While everyone slept, he welcomed them to planet Frieza. There were spaceships already waiting for them, and he watched as they got closer to the atmosphere. It looked like Frieza had gotten their message. Zarbon and Dodoria led the charge. Vegeta yelled out in order to wake everyone. The ship was sturdy, but it couldn't take too much punishment. As soon as the ship got to the atmosphere, burning up from all the attacks, Vegeta told everyone to abandon ship, exploding his ki and the ship along with it. While the various fighters rained down from the sky, they all battled Frieza 4 soldiers in mid-air, including Zarbon and Dodoria. The intense mid-air battle culminates in a giant Kiko-Ho from Tien, blowing nearly all of the forces away. Zarbon and Dodoria remained standing, but it was the Ginyu Force who stepped up to the plate. Vegeta was a lot more concerned of them than any other fighters, as they had strange abilities he knew nothing about. Piccolo took on Burter, Tien Jais, Goku Rikum, and Vegeta Ginyu. Krillin reluctantly was stuck with Goldo, but thankfully he was killed pretty quickly as the battle began, while doing rock, paper, scissors. Vegeta commanded everyone to attack while they're still playing their silly little game, and without questioning it, Krillin launched a Kienzan that cut Goldo's head clean off. The Ginyu Force was angry and stronger than most of the fighters, though Vegeta and Goku proved to be incredibly formidable foes. Thanks to the teachings of their grandfather and Master Roshi, they could barely be touched. It went